The RCMP wants your help in solving an arson, but they won't tell you what burned. And there's a reason for that. Can you guess it? I want to show you this press release from the RCMP in New Brunswick. It's asking for the public's help in solving an arson which took place in the overnight hours of August 13th in the tiny New Brunswick community of Grand Anse. Look at this. The Caracat RCMP is seeking the public's help in connection with an arson in the community. On August 13th, 2024, at approximately 4:30 a.m., members of the Caracat RCMP received a report of a fire at a church on Acadie Street in Grand Anse, New Brunswick. The fire, which was confined to a small area of the church, was quickly extinguished. Through the investigation, it was determined that the fire had been intentionally set. No one was injured at the time of the incident. Northeast District Community Crime Reduction Unit, the RCMP Forensic Identification Section, the Caracat Fire Department, and the Office of the New Brunswick Fire Marshal are assisting in the investigation. Anyone who has information that could help further the investigation is asked to contact the Caracat RCMP at 506-726-5222. Do you know what's missing in all of that? The name of the church, perhaps? How on earth does the RCMP in New Brunswick want the public to give details of a crime against a church without indicating even the denomination of the church, let alone the name of it? Now, as soon as I read that this was yet another arson against a church, I knew that it was very, very likely to be a Catholic church. And Grand Anse is so small, and I already had the street name from the RCMP press release, so I knew which church it was with just a simple search, which is far more journalism than CTV Atlantic bothered to do in their reporting. They didn't bother to name the church either, but I will. It's St. Simon and St. Jude's Catholic Church. The spire of this beautiful historic church was used to mark the way for sailors for generations, and I was able to confirm by checking out the church's Facebook page. I wonder why nobody in the mainstream media bothered to do that. Just add this church to the list of the 100 plus Canadian churches, most of them Catholic, that have been vandalized, damaged, desecrated, or become targets for arson since Justin Trudeau and the mainstream media spread the blood libel that a mass grave containing the bodies of some 215 murdered Indigenous children had been uncovered at the Kamloops Residential School back in 2021. To date, 3 years later, not a single body or bone has been found. But the fire at St. Simon and St. Jude's will not receive the attention and outrage that it deserves. And why would it, when we know Prime Minister Justin Trudeau sympathizes with the perpetrators?
One of my reflections is I understand the anger that's out there against the federal government, against institutions like the Catholic Church. It is real, and it is fully understandable given the shameful history that we're all becoming more and more aware of and engaging ourselves to do better as Canadians.
For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Rebel News journalist Drea Humphrey has a documentary. It's called Kamloops, The Buried Truth. And it digs into the facts or lack of facts around the discovery at the Kamloops Indian Residential School. To see that documentary, please go to kamloopsdocumentary.com.